Right, that's us pushed down into P15.
Welcome along to the legendary Suzuka. This classic racetrack boasts a long history dating right back to 1962 when it was first opened. Will more history be written here today at the Japanese Grand Prix? We're southwest of the city of Nagoya today at the unique figure-of-8 Suzuka circuit. 3.6 miles and 18 corners make up a lap here, with average speeds approaching 136 miles per hour. DRS will be available, of course, into the potential passing opportunity at turn 1, although the best place for overtaking will be through 130R and into the final chicane. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Fernando Alonso lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Russell, Oscar Piastri, Hamilton, Sainz, Perez, Tsunoda, Stroll, Gasly, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Ocon, Magnussen, Albon, Joe, Hülkenberg, Bottas, Sargent, and Lando Norris starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me a man, well, what more can I say? But he's a legend. Anthony Davidson. Now, you'll remember back from your racing days, Ant, working with the team and getting to know them is oh so important. And that's what this driver's going through at the moment. And I think one thing we are seeing with this driver at the moment is that they're very much embedded within the team. They know the team knows them, and it's working wonderfully. I don't want to, but we should look at their recent performances, and I think poor is a universal word to describe them. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
So the formation lap gets underway here in Japan. This circuit is one of the favourites amongst the drivers, and I'm sure each and every one of them is looking forward to the race ahead. All of them hoping they can leave Suzuka on a high note. We're almost ready to start the race as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Battery charge is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more. We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. box, box, we're coming in this lap. Okay, we can take you this lap. Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't speed. We had an issue removing the right front wheel. I know it's not ideal, but let's try and put it behind us now and get back into this race. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. Okay, Danny, let's try and pick our moments where we use ERS. Let's try to be consistent with it going forward, please. Hamilton ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 8.5 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. The car ahead of you's just fitted the hard tyres. Car ahead now on the hard compound. Okay, Yuki is coming in for his stop now. lost some time to the car behind. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 5.1 seconds. Great stuff, mate. You hit the target well there. Nice one. There's a long way to go in this race, though, so keep your head down. Okay, you're in the top 10. Okay, Danny, we want to make sure we're saving some ERS, so let's try and charge it up now. Brilliant, nice move, keep going. Verstappen's just put up the fastest lap of the race so far. Okay, well, it wasn't to be this time, but not to worry. There's a long way to go in this race, so let's focus. Green flag. Some information on Magnussen for you. Okay, they're out of this race. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 3.0 seconds. Alright, so we've been looking at the damage and we think we should be okay to continue. It's going to cost us a little bit of time, but we're nearly at the end of the race. Okay mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap.
Said so many times in the past, the checkered flag is out for our winner, Lewis Hamilton.
You always look back at a race like this and think, if I'd just made that mistake there or locked up here, there would have been contact. And every one of those overtakes is a moment where you have to absolutely nail it, perfect it, and that's exactly what they were able to do today. Great stuff indeed.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.